By the blessing of the icons and their emissaries, we found the child.
We brought something else to light.
There's a darkness coming.
In the shadows are old enemies.
And new allies.
What will survive in the dawn?
Of the last Cyclade.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Gobbler Games for the game that has the longest name ever. Yeah?
No, do the whole name. Do the whole name. All of it. One take.
Coriolis, Mercy of the Icons, Part 2, The Last Cyclade, Act 2, The Cyclade Dance, Mission 1, and then I've got a question about what Mission 1 is. We'll work that out in a bit. But first of all, yeah.
Are you still doing the title?
Yeah, this is part of the title, yeah. So
Meatloaf, right?
Yeah, what's the acronym for that?
I'm just trying to get a longer one than Jim and Co.
Oh, Clucky Clock.
Yeah, so it sounds like Klingon or something.
Oh, now I'm definitely in.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Gobbler Games and our continuing mission of Coriolis. That works, doesn't it? Yeah. There we go. My name's Millie. I've got some friends with me who have played some Coriolis before. You might know them as Ben. How you doing, Ben?
Hello.
At the bottom, go all the way around. How you doing?
Yes. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. It's been 2 weeks since we played some Alien, where got yeeted off a space station.
Technically, I won.
You might have got a story point for next session, yeah. Next time we play Alien. Remind us.
No one wins an Alien game, Ben. You know this.
Remind us who your character is.
I'm playing Shanaz Al-Bahia. She's a courtesan, so the artist background. She's a privileged Debaran follower of the dancer and social media icon extraordinaire. Everybody knows who she is. Everybody loves her, or else.
Or else.
Well, you're just not worth knowing.
If you don't love me, who are you going to do? Graham, it has been a moment since I saw you last.
I mean, that is true. That is true, yes. I can hide under the table if you like.
The other end of the table before. For those who don't know,
throw something at him.
Throw something at him. I could just... I can't quite reach in. Oh, there we go. Look. No, it's just shenanigans. Yep. Graham sat on the other side of the table because that's my lovely husband. How you doing, lovely husband?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Remind us about Silsila Zamil.
So, Silsila Zamil is a relatively plebeian pilot who wants to transfer his skills in a ship into some kind of fame or more money, really. Really overconfident. Just looks at the things that maybe Shanaz has and thinks, why can't I have those? Someone give me those things.
Or just give.
Well, he's all right to earn those things, but giving is also fine. Bit of a shady past with the people he used to work for, driving the bus, as he calls it. Dropping off those unannounced mission people.
Unannounced guests.
Yeah. Leaving in a hurry.
Expected visitors in the airlock. And by no means least, but last in this round. How you doing, Pete? You all right?
Hello, yes. I'm good. I'm Pete, and I'm playing Yusuf Musavi, who is a fugitive and more from Algol, heavily tattooed with consortium stamps and identification patterns and all kind of stuff, but had more tattoos added to it to try and kind of hide that kind of stuff. Is generally a bit of a dog's body, does lots of bits and bobs around the ship, cleaning in the background, fixing the odd thing here and there, but has mystical powers. They've developed. Yeah. And he's running away from a dark past.
No, people in Coriolis never run away from things like that. No.
Quite fitting. A picture of Quishar appears when you're saying that.
Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
That's a spoiler, folks. There we go.
To me as well.
Sorry, that's live production for you there. There we go. All right, folks. So last we saw our heroes, we were on Kua in the monolith. We had a big end of Cyclade party. It was great, and everything was fine. I have
A
dice.
few drinks.
I have
couple of
drinks.
snacks.
I have all that kind of stuff. What I don't have is the Coriolis rulebook, which I just need to.
Like the main one?
Big book. The big book. Get it?
It's always the way.
There we go. There we go. That's how the screen. Like this side of the screen is connected to that bit down there. Pete reaches far enough, he can appear on on Ben's screen as well.
Yeah, it's only 117
Lives
miles.
in your closet, Ben.
Yeah.
This is previously unknown.
Anyway, so yeah, when we last played, it was the end of the Cyclade. We had a big party, which ended in a riot, which some say is some of the best parties.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got accepted as a Zenithian, or Pat?
Yes, you've been given
Yeah.
given Zenithian heritage, or it's been discovered you actually were always Zenithian.
Absolutely, yes. Thank the
Always
good old
Zenithian.
great uncle,
Retcon.
second cousin.
An in-game retcon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Although they weren't quite willing to do it for me, were they?
No. Given, I don't know why, but Silsilla.
Just who I am.
Silsilla's has been retconned.
I probably need like a new surname, don't I?
No, the Zamils were always
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
on the Zenith.
On the ship.
Always
They
on
just
the ship.
updated the passenger manifest. It's
Yeah.
easier than doing it the other way around.
Yeah. Always just realised that you were a Zenithian. Not one of the big ones, but
yeah. I think I was my relative was a janitor or something.
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. One of the
Yeah.
custodials. But you are absolutely a Zenithian, not one of these first come.
Cool. Gonna get myself a big Z badge.
Yep. And at the end of it, we got out of Dodge because we made an agreement with let me see if I can find her picture. Instead of putting Kashar on page, where has she gone? It helps. I don't think I showed you her picture last time.
I was imagining like the woman from the Expanse wears a lot, whose name I can't remember.
There we go. That's
Avasarala.
Avasarala,
so
that's
that
it.
was our patron.
Oh, yeah.
The lovely. That's not the right page. Shadi Bat Eden of Aishan's Emporium. So the lovely Shadi arranged for us to get out of Dodge, and as we fled to the edge of the party to a balcony, some sort of gravcraft spaceship came up because we're in space, right? Even though we were on a planet, they leaned over and went like, "Come on, get out of here!"
Come with
and
me
we
if you want to live.
Yeah, we did. And that was the end of the year celebration, start of the next cycle. And this portion of the game is called the Cyclade dance, which to me has a very Firefly feeling when I was reading through all the different missions and all the
That's
things
cool.
you can do. And there are a couple of options because it sort of restarts a month or so away. Most of the way through the segment of the Messenger, which is the first month of the year, about to flip into the month of the Dancer. So in this, couple of weeks, have we? Once the heat dies down, have we stayed on Kua? Have we gone up to Coriolis? Our ship was impounded by our friend at the Science Commission. Shadi has managed to return that to our possession halfway through the month. What have we What have we been kicking back? Have we been lying low? Have we been hustling? What do we imagine everybody's been up to?
I think I would have been living on the ship, much more comfortable there. I think. I mean, I guess just trying to catch up on things for Silsila, like because we were sort of hidden away, weren't we, and prevented from like outside news sources and things like
Yeah,
that.
you
'Cause
spent a good month
yeah,
on
we're the
Cuba.
only ones who know what actually happened.
Mhm.
I guess for Silsila, I would be trying to make a recording of what did happen, and wondering how I could make money off that recording or the explanation of the facts.
Okay. Our friend Jafar, who was with us, did escape. He is fine. In these couple of months, he's gone off with associates of Shadi to crack. Remember, we found the emerald disc of the ship that was, and it was all twisted. He's gone off to their fancy labs. Do a little bit of lecturing as well, maybe, but he's gone off to crack the emerald disc.
Probably try and we don't have Adia or Kush, do we?
Adia and Kush, yeah. Did they stay? Is that's the question? Do you want to like move forwards? They could go off and find something else. Do we want to keep?
We wanted to keep.
We'd invite them. We'd invite them to
Absolutely,
stay. I think.
Yeah. It's a big ship, isn't it? So
Yeah, there's room for them on the ship. Adia and Kush, yeah.
I'm fairly sure we got all their friends killed, so we should probably at least try and.
And they also came from they were also people who'd escaped from the consortium or something, hadn't they?
Yeah. So Adia is
the Berbersil.
I like it that you remember they have Black Cliff.
Yeah.
Good memory there. The Bergerbills, who own a chain of courgette burger. No, they don't.
I mean, I dislike them already, but now they make courgette
burger.
Yeah,
Just
they have to call it zucchini, though, wouldn't they?
Oh my god.
Courgette burgers. These are old Ada. So Adia is a humanite. They have gills. So they favour like high-coloured and polar neck things when they're around. And Kirsch is a Scavara, a subhuman species, intelligent other race, as majority of folks say. So Silsila's been hanging out on the ship, which is probably where Kirsch will hang out as well. And Adia will just sort of make sure their mate Scavara doesn't touch too much of the wrong stuff. What about Yusuf and Shanaz?
Well, I haven't really been to Coriolis much before, and when I have, I've been docked and staying on the ship. I've been jumping between ships trying to keep a low profile until I've joined up with Silsila. So I kind of like half hanging around on the ship because I feel comfortable there, but now I'm starting to feel a bit more comfortable in the crew. I'm starting to feel like I could step out and there'd be someone to help cover my back if I get in trouble in Coriolis. So I'll start to like explore kind of the public spaces, just to like have a look around. I'll probably get mugged about 5 seconds in, but I'm quite wary, so I will be looking around and sort of seeing the sights and stuff, and more people around me kind of get me a bit confused with all my mind walking and stuff. So it's kind of a bit of a weird experience for me.
And how about Shanaz?
Shanaz has been networking. She's enjoyed the fame and the attention, and that's all been great and useful and fun, but it turned out to be a little bit shallow.
Yeah.
Yes, she was able to use it to her advantage, but she's decided that it's time to branch out. So she's been trying to get in touch with the alarm carefully, respectfully, but also building a network of contacts in the courtesan business, really, across the third horizon as much as possible.
Send in messages, having coffee.
Yeah.
Unionizing.
The courtesan union. Isn't that alarms?
Yeah.
Wait. No, wait.
But there's another reason to get in touch with the alarm.
I know. So we've just been sort of like reacquainting ourselves with connections we might have forgotten, exploring places we've never been before, and sticking to the ship.
I guess listening to space chatter, is there like a trucker radio equivalent for pilots? Because like, is it happening somewhere else would be a big thing.
10-4, good buddy.
Yeah. So
Maybe there's a Zenithian equivalent of the Masons I can now join and ask as well.
Probably
that is the Zenithians, isn't it?
That is what you've been inducted into.
Perfect.
All right, hang on. Let me find.
I mean, it's okay if there's not like a trucker radio equivalent for pilots and stuff, but maybe Silsilla and Yusuf can hit some dive bars and gamble once
Sounds good.
once a week.
Yep, I have to make my offerings to the gambler.
Well, I think it's what the pilots on downtime would do because there's no risk on downtime,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have to go and create your own risk.
Absolutely.
So, shitty bars and gambling.
Sounds good to me, boss.
All right, so a couple of things happen that sort of kick off this section, the Cyclade dance, this part of the campaign. We're sort of perhaps on Coriolis, in that dive bar. Does Shanaz go with them? Does she join them on the dive bar? Or no? Okay. I mean, it'd be one of those like Elvis Cena wimpy stories, wouldn't it? There would be no sort of standing with it because Shanaz is Shanaz, and she would never
No
do
one
that.
would believe it for a second. No, I don't think she would, to be honest.
Okay.
You'd need shoes for your shoes, so when the first pair stuck to the floor, you could still walk around easily.
So as Yusuf and Silsilla are there, it's well into like the late watch of Coriolis. It doesn't have like a clock; it more goes by a couple of watches. And there is like a call, like you can see that the normally like the routine you've got into. You recognise the Coriolis guards who sort of come by this casino sort of thing. You recognise the other folks who come and gamble and drink and meet and that kind of stuff. You watch as you're there that evening, and there is a noted kind of like moment where the guards who are normally quite chill and walking around, they get some sort of message. Like you see a couple of them sort of put a finger to their headsets or look at, whatever they've got, like their space communicators, whatever they've got in the future. And they all head to like the nearest sort of transit. Like they all, like it's not a sort of casual thing. It is like a proper move, a proper hustle to the nearest transit. As they head out to one side of the bazaar that your cantina is in. Does Yusuf mind walk or?
I say I would give him a nudge.
Maybe we just follow them.
You sort of casually head out.
I'll like walk to the door.
Mm-hmm.
They running to the like jumping in a pod and shooting off or something.
Yeah, they're literally heading to one of like the trams.
Okay.
They head there. They all and they get on a tram that is full of other Coriolis guard.
That is serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Give it 5 minutes. I'll could I have got close enough to one of them because I have to kind of meet a person before I can mind walk. So if they're all rushing out, could I like
We know
bump
them,
into
though.
one of them and
Yeah,
say,
I mean,
"Oh,
this
look, I'm
is-
sorry, here you go," like get a, even if it's 2 lines of conversation, like.
Well, yeah, this could have been like you've been here for like 2 weeks. Is this the?
Yeah.
Do you
all
always
right,
go
okay,
to the
cool.
same
Yeah,
regular
okay,
casino
right.
kind of thing?
So the people we've
this could
seen
be-
and maybe had a game with and that kind of thing. Okay,
and
cool.
they sort of like maybe they take the mick out of you, like sort of you always lose, Yusuf. That's how much have you lost today, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know the code to your safe at home, but don't worry about it.
Yusuf with the joke. You do actually know the code to a safe
Yeah.
at home because you.
1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, come on.
The other guy's is 9999.
Okay. Well, I mean, mind walking away because it's short-lived, isn't it? So it's like for a minute or so, short amount of time. So I don't want to do it right now. But if they're shooting off,
Yeah, so you sort of maybe move to the edge of the casino, look out where they jump on one of these trams that go around, one of these trains that go around the ring of Coriolis, and it's filled with other guards, filled with other Coriolis guardsmen, and then as they get on, it sort of shoots off. It's almost like they've commandeered this.
They've
train.
got someone controlling it for them.
I will turn to Silsilla and say, just cover me for a minute, and I'll like sit in a corner
With you.
and like
Yeah.
have a darkness point.
Oh, is that what the number 4 is? Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Put it right next to me.
Yeah.
So that
The chief user of darkness points.
Just a big arrow pointing at Yusuf.
Mm-hmm. Do you need to make a test, or does it just happen? Remind us.
It just happens.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I can't do anything. I can only observe, and
Only
it's
observe.
for like a dramatically appropriate amount of time.
Okay. So you wait a little while. Hopefully, it'll have gotten to wherever it's going to go.
I'm thinking that they might get away from like public places, and then someone might start talking about stuff between them, or someone might stand up and say, "Right, there's a this is what's happening," or something like that. So as soon as they like, I don't know if it goes into like a tunnel in a wall somewhere or something, but as soon as it's kind of out of sight, I'm gonna do it.
So you wait a moment and sort of pay attention to the friends you've made in the bar. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then like your mind's eye kind of opens with his, and he's pretty tightly packed on this sort of mass transit, and you can see them. They're all sort of looking at like tabulas or communicators and that kind of stuff, with like an update kind of thing. And apparently there is some sort of riot around the sanatorium. There is a clash of folks out there. There's been at least one murder and a break-in, and the head of the Coriolis Guard wants to put in like a big show that they are making an effort here. There's been a lot of talk recently about the guard not being involved in a lot of attacks that have been motivated by the mysticides, like the murders like that were a while ago. Yusuf might not know, but there were people killing mystics, and that hasn't necessarily gone away. And the sort of fear and worry, especially now more and more mystics are being revealed. There is a clash between people who are mystics or are relatives of mystics, and folks who absolutely hate the idea of the mystics, and it's a disease and they don't want to catch it kind of thing. And there's a big clash between those two groups. The sanatorium are sort of known for
It's like a hospital, right?
yeah, it's a free hospital
Run by the order of the pariah.
Yeah, run by, but the martyrs is what they
This is
martyrs.
their one nice place where
Yeah.
they try and help people.
yeah.
It's the tax break.
It is
Yeah.
the tax break, probably. But they also run like treatments where they can help you deal with your mystic disease,
Oh, okay.
come to grips with
Oh,
it so you
God.
can be a normal person, and in some cases, treat you so you'd no longer have mystic disease. Whether that's true or not, you've only got the people who have joined it and say, like, they've not published any peer-reviewed journals kind of thing.
Okay, so as this kind of information's kind of come out, it's kind of probably mentioned in media and stuff like the weeks we've been there, so I'll know.
Yeah, you'll definitely
about
know
this
all
kind
that.
So I probably want that place to burn down anyway.
Yeah, it's probably
You know.
not one of your most favoritist
Yeah,
of things.
yeah.
And they're all heading there because there's some sort of clash, some sort of riot going on outside of there. At least one person has been killed, and the head of the guard is like demanding everybody gets there. As it sort of pulls up and stops, you can see that there's adjudicars who are like the special branch kind of thing, like the big detectives sort of. They work directly for the judges on the station and on Kua. There are adjudicars who are like marshalling guards around, sending people to certain places. Our sort of train of Coriolis guard kind of comes off. There's this adjudicar, and they start saying, right, okay, we need you to head down to the front. We need to manage the folks. Let's split up the riot, the fights that are going on. Try and at least get them. They're going to protest whatever side they're on. They need to split that up. We need to show a force, calm a situation. If we're going to have to like fight this way out, then we will. But we want to sort of calm stuff down. As he kind of heads off, you can see that there is like a tent that's been erected, and there's definitely over somebody who's been killed on the steps on the outside of the sanatorium. And he, your vision sort of lingers as they run past. It's hard to make out who is dead, but there's very definitely like the robes of a sanatorium, a martyr on the floor, and like it's gory. Like he sort of looks, and even then there's like this sort of thing. And you hear like the guy, the guard who's just like, oh gosh, I hope the judge is with them as they, as you run off, and then as he sort of gets this eyeful, you hear his friend kind of like making a plea to the icons. They carry on and run, and you sort of return back to the casino kind of thing.
Get a drink.
Yep.
Just like a nearby half drink left on a table, like knock it
Anybody's
down.
drink.
Yeah. Oh, there's a riot going on at the sanatorium. There's martyrs getting their heads smashed in. There's all kinds of shit going down. They're calling all the guards in, and there's just cars, and oh man, hope they burn that place down. Crazy.
You want to go and check it out?
I mean, it might be an opportunity. You never know.
Okay, like an opportunity to check it out, an opportunity to, maybe do some damage to it, or...
Well, they do some bad shit there.
Oh, yeah. Like,
and
radio's full of it.
These fuckers have been oppressing people for a long time, just like all those consortium assholes.
But don't forget, they almost killed us as well.
Oh, well, yeah, but I don't matter. It's like they try and wipe out all these people because they got some weird ass backwards worldview. Now let's go and have a look, see if we can pour some fuel on the fire. This is probably the most Yusuf has said to you in a long time.
Yeah,
the whole 3 weeks normally
before
just
you
like,
did it, I was like, have you told me that you have the powers?
No,
Well,
it will have come up
because
by
you're
I will
like
have,
covenant. Yeah, so yeah.
We'll have done by now. I think I used them last time as well, and you guys knew about it. So
it was kind of like you did it most around Jafar, so
that's true.
I wasn't sure if like Graham knew or Silsilla knew. So
I will have confided
does
in.
not know.
I will have confided in Silsilla definitely because Jafar sodded off, and he feels probably a bit exposed or weak
Yeah.
and needs someone to know. And as he's done that, he's slowly every now and then he's like, it's quite quiet normally. But when
Are we
he
doing
feels...
well at the gambling because of this? Then are we?
Yeah.
All right then. Yeah. I take it it's quite far, so we need a train as well.
Yeah, you'd have to. I mean, you could walk, but it would take a while to kind of get there.
Train it is. Do we know where Shanaz is? Because we should probably tell her where we're going. Or are you
filming something somewhere? Don't know.
I mean, it doesn't. A riot doesn't really stream Shanaz, but we'll at least tell you we're going to.
But
Gone
it's
to
an
riot,
event, isn't it?
At Pariah's gaff.
Pariah's.
Well, we're both from Algo, so I can imagine that like Silsilla drops some of the
yeah pretense or the
language
kind of,
you learned while working for the core.
Oh, okay. So
like
we
as if there's like an Algo patois, I guess. So
yeah, I mean Algo is pretty harsh.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. So yeah, we're good. Let's roll them.
All right. So you folks head off. What is Shanaz up to? Is she just chilling?
Shanaz has been at work. It's
In the
late
spa.
evening. So she's probably just finished up with a client
Just
and about to head home.
Well, you get a lovely message from us saying we're off to a riot at the. I guess you would have to read between the lines that is the sanatorium.
the martyr's gaff.
But considering the last party we went to ended in a riot, you could be jokingly saying we're going to a party.
Yeah.
It also depends
I would
entirely on
assume
who
that-
the client was as well.
Okay.
Let's hope
because-
it's not the martyrs.
Unlikely. I think matter of principle probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Or I
Okay.
don't know. Behind closed doors.
Very true.
All right. So has when Shanaz took the sort of change in direction to join this crew and go off with the Silsilla and folks to explore the horizon and stuff. Did she kind of take a step back from being like a media lovey to be more serious kind of thing, or was it more like personal blogs and that kind of stuff instead of like she was like a guest judge on one of the best shows ever, The Stars of Debarra.
I think she'd still be out there doing that side of things a little bit. That definitely would have been a step down. The whole social media crusade for popularity would take sort of a second place to a slightly more political Shanaz.
Okay.
More to do with forging connections and alliances, because she's seen how very quickly you can become vulnerable if you don't have people with you.
Sure. So as you're sort of leaving and you're heading back, maybe to use a spa or whatever, catch some food, but like a last. Doesn't Shanaz have like a table at Alkamar's, a standing reservation or something?
I don't think she has a table. I think she just kind of walks up and uses someone else's table.
Okay, maybe she's going to swing by Alkamar's and just like, oh, is so and so here this evening? No, I'll just use their table, kind of thing. Yeah, of course she knows. Yeah, no problem. I don't know whether nobody'd ever notice it, but there's always like there must be a rival or somebody who wants to be a Shanaz but isn't quite, as 10,000 less followers or never quite gets that name. I don't know. Let me see. Find a name for them.
I rather hope they're like the influencer from the Spider-Man game.
Uh,
Or, you know, the complete opposite. One of those horrible basement dweller,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
chud type
Oh my god,
influences.
Alex Jones style would be Shanaz's opposite. To be fair,
no,
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
not
an
wrong.
opposite. It's
a rival then. Fair
a
enough.
rival, a comparative.
Okay. Well, I guess while you're looking that up, so Yusuf, are we just gonna? Do you want to go into the sanatorium, or just
There's all kinds of there were like bodies and at least one dead martyr, and there were different flanks and different positions. There was a lot of noise, and I don't know. I think I want to see what's going on, because they're on the information the guy received was like mystics against non-mystics, or people against the mystic way. I don't know. It's a bit mixed.
Well, I'll take the lead when we get there. Then, like, if we're just gonna hang around, see what's going on, that's cool. If we're gonna try and sneak our way through, or just there's a huge gap, let's just walk right in. Then sure.
All right, so this counterpart to Shanaz, she's called Tamana. She's not quite as established as that high level of courtesan. She's not quite that level of media darling. She doesn't quite get all the same sort of sponsorships, but she's like just in this sort of like step back to be more serious. She's like pounced on all this kind of stuff. And you see that she has there is a thing on the bulletin, like where they do like this night in, tonight in celebrity, which would always, for whenever Shanaz was on the station, be like, and
And Shanaz did this.
Coriolis darling Shanaz, like at the minute, like perhaps Shanaz is not, just keeping it quiet, chilled, discreet. And this is like Tamana tonight was seen in Alkmaar's, and they list like a bunch of media folks, like maybe like a band, a quartet or something, entertaining and enjoying a meal in Alkmaar's with these folks. It's just another one of her high profile meetings with and the section just goes on talking about how she's met with another one of these people, and the rumor is she's jetting off to Kua tomorrow to have an engagement on the monolith, the highest levels of the monolith, and her media sort of schedule then involves she's taking a trip out into the third horizon to meet with yet another notable loved, but it's all that kind of stuff is going on and on about it. And it doesn't necessarily, like, I mean, I guess it's entirely up to you, Ben, whether it annoys Shanaz or not. But there's very definitely like seeing her name. She's meeting a lot of folks, like definitely sort of public opinion influencing folks. Like this quartet she's met on Coriolis are probably going to be the sort of folks who will get to meet with high level Zenithians. They'll play ambassador sessions. They'll do concerts for everybody who they're allied with. There's very definitely, as you like look, and it's possibly something that maybe only Shanaz or another courtesan would do. Like, she's very definitely meeting with key folks. Definitely, and it's one of those things that perhaps you file for another moment as Tamana, yet another high profile, and then it goes on to talk about her dress, and what she served or what her menu choices was for the quartet and that kind of stuff, and back to like the bread and butter of the segment. Yusuf and Silsila step off their sort of mass transit into the area where the sanatorium is, and the first thing you sort of notice is Coriolis is obviously a space station. It's contained. It's recycled air. It's all very sort of. Again, Yusuf would definitely notice the smell when he first docks with him, having not always been on Coriolis, more that kind of stuff. Very definite, like it's recycled. It's around and it's around. And the thing that panics, well, both of you both live on spaceships and that kind of stuff. Something's burning. Something big is burning. That sort of thing eats up oxygen fast, and you sort of look at, and you can see there is like the fans that are almost miles up, and the insides of Coriolis, they are sucking up this pillar of smoke coming from the sanatorium. You can see like fire suppression drones like flying from all sections, and you can hear the shouting and the riot and the fight outside the front of the sanatorium.
I mean, I said burn it down. I didn't literally mean it. We're in a fucking space station, aren't we?
Is it the sanatorium that's on fire?
Yeah. You can see like this swirling sort of pillar of flame heading up to the turbines in the ceiling. It's it's a good mile long. It's a huge station. But they definitely, somebody set fire to the sanatorium.
Like, are there people coming out of the sanatorium? Because there's supposed to be people who get treated.
I mean, it's a free hospital, yeah. You can see as you sort of like, how close do you get? Do you want to be so close as you could possibly get embroiled in the riot, or do you sort of?
I was thinking we kind of sort of skulk
the
around the edge.
All right, so
Like
Coriolis,
See where the big fight's going on.
Coriolis
and then-
street theatre kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sort of on the edge and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So you take a bit of a route. You maybe head up to one of these like second story tobacco cafes kind of thing, and you're not the only one who's there. Like you can see that there are there are people who are like, huh, sort of thing,
Rubbernecking.
Yeah, you're not the only ones who are there. There is a massive fight going out on the front of the sanatorium. You can see like the Coriolis guard. Since you've sort of mind walked with your pal, now they've got like folks with riot shields. There is literally like people who are being put down, knocked out. It's got like Gravcraft floating above when they're yoinking people out of fights to put in the back of a wagon sort of thing. Absolutely brutal on the very steps. Fire suppression drones just like coming in, and then they must be coming from all over Coriolis to put out, because it looks like a massive chunk. Like the sanatorium is it's got a garden in the middle, it's got sub levels,
Sure.
It's a couple of stories up as well. Heading all over, you can see adjudicars like running left and right, followed by like small troops of guards heading to other sides of the building as people kind of come in. The owner of the tobacco, you've sort of, he brings like a shisha, some coffee, some dates and that kind of stuff.
What kicked that off?
He says they killed some of the mystics. They killed Sister Almas.
Sister Almas.
She has become the leader of the media presence for the sanatorium. After it was announced that the Order of the Prior was doing dodgy shit and kidnapping mystics, and they were part of the Mysticides, she's tried to renounce that part of the order. It's not us, look at our free soup kitchen, that kind of stuff. But they've still taken loads of flack for the like treatment and the conversion and that kind of stuff they've done for folks who have the mystics and want to be cured, kind of thing. Somebody killed, like, I didn't see it. And he points to like a cafe over there, and it's like, they were saying they just exploded her head from a distance. Did you know mystics can explode people? And then somebody else is like, no, mate. I saw it. They hit her over the back of the head with a pipe. It was a bloody fight. It's like, no. It was a sniper. It was a sniper from the building over there. I saw the flat. Already there's a billion different things going on, and everybody saw it, kind of thing. But they all agree Sister Almas has been murdered in some way.
My money's on
Okay.
Bird Strike.
It's striking.
Frozen bird strike.
Oh, that sounds pretty. So what do you want to do, Yusuf? It doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere near that place. I'm not
No.
really.
I mean,
I mean,
you
it's on
can.
fire and there might be people inside, but
You can, but it would be risky because there's a massive fight outside the front and a big fire going on. And lots of guards and adjudicars and, medics and people running in and out and that kind of stuff.
you can like try and lift like a medic case and run in if you want.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They're trying to get in and get proof, do you reckon, or evidence or something, or are they just trying to burn the place down?
Oh,
I mean, they're succeeding at burning the place down, but do you think they were trying to get like? Oh man,
I imagine that maybe, well, someone must have been pretty upset and no, but look pretty
they're like
dead set on killing
frying people's brains in there.
Yeah, but like to in the middle of the street kill somebody.
That's crazy.
Dedication there, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, if there's people in there, we can try and drag some out. It feels, like wrong. Everyone's just fighting outside, and there's buildings on fire with people in, man.
Yeah, let's go check it out. See if we can see if there's anything to be done.
Better dead than snag.
All right, so you knock back your espresso, you head down, trying to make your way.
Let's get a couple on the way, though. Yeah, let's get really, really like have all the adrenaline possible.
Philip J. Fry.
Brought your shisha and dates, and he thought you were going to sit here to watch the drama. He thought he was making a good couple of bear out of this. And then
I mean, we could drop the man some bear. I have no idea if we have money or not at this point in our lives.
I mean, you have a bit. I suspect a few segments, half a segment of just kicking back and getting is eaten through a lot of reserves.
That's what the gambling was for.
All right, so we head down across the plaza towards where it is. You see, maybe you laugh or maybe you note like a bulletin media drone and a Jabal. Who is one of the reporters sort of setting up. You can see his drone is trying to, and he's got his tablet there. He's doing that thing where he's like, sanatorium and shot. If I do it, and you can watch the drone, and he's trying to get the fire, and he's trying to fight, and then he's positioning another one so he can turn and get like the riot in the background kind of thing. And every now and again, he's like, yeah. 3 minutes, yeah, sure, kind of thing. And he's adjusting that kind of stuff as he moves around. As you get closer and closer, either it's going to be risky, like you're probably gonna get involved in the riot, or you're gonna have to be
Can we
like
nick a press pass, just
sneaky.
like act like we're entitled.
Yeah, we have to sneak.
So what are you trying to do? Like Jabal, the bulletin reporter, he's nowhere near like the front. Like you've gone past him to get.
Okay.
He doesn't want to get a left hook or burned to death kind of thing.
Do we see any people who are kind of being given a bit of grace to like get out of the place or get to like medical people or is there anything like that?
There are like vans and like grab cars and like tuk-tuks and whatever is used for short distance transport inside Coriolis, sort of rolling up and that kind of stuff. Everybody seems really like engaged in making sure whatever they're trying to get out is out kind of thing. And there are a lot of sort of guard wagons that have got people being thrown in. There are a number of wagons. Like, free hospital is a unique thing. Like, normally medical care in the Horizon, especially on Coriolis, is expensive. So there aren't that many folks who are volunteering medical aid sort of thing. The Samaritans did that. Like, this was the place where the people have no money. So the guards and a few sort of like more affordable healthcare folks are diving in to help people out. But the other, like the big guys, if the sort of folks that have standing reservations at Alkmaar's or deal with the higher levels of stuff, they're nowhere to be seen because there's no money to be made here.
Sure.
So it's quite like people are being brought out, and then it's sort of like, now what? Like it's the people around on the street who are maybe helping them up, or
Do any
not.
of those people who have been brought out have kind of weird clamps around their heads or like things to?
No, they look.
That's
like,
what's going on in Yusuf's head.
Like no,
Like looking for, like,
it's
weird
mostly like
Dollars.
Yeah.
you can see it's a lot of what the sanatorium deals with is the you've woken up when you should be in a stasis coffin, like the madness from being awake
right, okay.
through portal travel, that kind of stuff, or people who have been affected with some sort of malady, like psychosis or that
like
kind
long
of stuff.
term.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So-
Space madness.
Yeah, so there are folks just sort of like in the dressing gown with a walking stick, kind of like wandering around. There are members of the sanatorium staff who are there trying to help and trying to, move these folks to a nearby place where they can sit down until the suppression drones have sort of got everything under control and they're allowed back in. It is mighty, mighty chaotic.
Remind me what the survivor talent does. Is it like I can survive a natural disaster?
I think it's you get a bonus on like natural.
That's not the one where you can flip the numbers on a.
No,
True,
it's
is it?
something to like, if the spaceship had no air supply, I'd find an air supply for us.
Yeah, you'd find like a cupboard with some air in it.
Yeah. Or just, we accidentally happen to be in the room where the hoses are cut, so we can still do something. All right, then, Yusuf, while Millie's looking that up, I mean, we can try and blag our way in, we can try and run our way in. Are you good at punching people? I don't think I am.
Not really.
Right.
No.
We're definitely not fighting our way in then. Not without losing, anyway.
I'm quite good at sneaking.
Um,
Okay at sneaking. 5 dice at infiltration.
Yeah, 6 for me, assuming it's an agility
Oh,
skill.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, then. I'm all right with that.
What is your talent called again?
Survivor.
Survivors. It's our group.
Oh, it's a group talent.
Yeah.
I was looking under.
Oh, I've got it written down right here.
You can get out of a dangerous situation somehow connected to nature, such as a bushfire or explosive decompression.
Or riot.
The whole group escapes the danger. The GM gets 1 darkness point, 1 use per session for the whole group, not once per PC.
Okay, so probably
A
not
fire.
applicable. Yeah, for the fire if we get stuck, yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
not the riot. All right, then.
Yeah.
Sneaky sneak it is then.
Okay.
Yep.
So who has got the best infiltration?
I think it's me because I'll be
Yep.
on 6 dice.
You got 6 dice. All right.
We're actually
So
all pretty good at infiltration.
one way or another, you can all get into the place. All right. So with Yusuf's help, we'll give you a bonus. Roll 7 dice.
Okay. I got 1 success.
All right. Do you want to push it? Think 1 success is enough? Push it. You get to re-roll it.
What do you think, Yusuf?
Yeah.
Push it. It gives me a darkness point.
Do
Oh,
it.
yeah,
I know
we
you
know
like
this.
pushing it, Graham.
I mean, it's not even in double figures now, so
Oh, okay.
I don't feel like we're playing properly.
I like it. Went up very quickly
Oh,
there.
oh,
We've
I
gone
got
from
This is
4
like the alien stress thing, isn't it? It's not a proper alien game until you're on
Yeah.
I
it.
got 2 more,
Yes.
so I've got is a critical success with 3, isn't it?
critical success with 3. Okay.
Wicked.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Dice Tower.
between the chaos,
I
things.
feel like we need to knock someone on the head and take their coat.
Yeah,
At
like
some
I'll be
point.
wearing like a medic uniform. You've got a press
Yeah.
pass. Yeah, we don't really belong
something like
together,
that.
but
yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like between like the chaos, the riot, that kind of stuff. Maybe you do pick up Jabal's his like high vis jacket, like press or something. You
Yeah.
pick up that as you swing that over your shoulder, and then another one. It's that sort of thing where you pick up the hat of the medic and you put on like a jacket, a white coat, and you both move with like purpose and speed. Don't actually know where you're going, but you just head quickly kind of thing.
You look like you know where you're going. People won't question you.
And
We've
like
got
Stiller
clipboards,
is
that's what it
maybe
is. We've got clipboards.
like directing. Cecilla's directing Yusuf in like a if you come this way you can see it kind of thing, and Yusuf's like, oh yeah, I'm with the press. I'm gonna get a good shot from here, kind of stuff. So you
Just walking along like this.
like do that kind of thing. That sort of stuff. So as you're running in, like Shanaz, they've said they're going to a riot. Maybe you've decided to look up the bulletin feed sort of thing, and you can see.
I was just looking at the bulletin feed, wasn't I?
So
we interrupt this late breaking story.
We interrupt our previously recorded segment to update you. There are live reports of a fire spreading from the sanatorium. Our reporter, Jabal, who is on the scene and knows more, and he sort of, you see this guy who's setting up the shot, we see it, and he's sort of like, thanks, Ari. What we're seeing now is people left with nothing after the misticides taking the law into their own hand. As of late, Governor Dargosian's office has been accused of not taking the situation seriously enough, thus resulting in what now is confirmed as the murder of Sister Almas. There has been a riot here in the core, and the fire has spread from the main buildings to the gardens. Fire suppression drones from a number of plazas, as well as the core, have come to prevent flames reaching the Infoteca or even heading up into the spire. Judicators are dispersing the riots, and there are casualties nearing 3 figures. Sister Robwa, head of the sanatorium, is in talks with the governor about potential repercussions. Surely this will have far-reaching situations on the council. And it turns back to sort of Ari, turns back to like the center of the bulletin, where they're like, council meetings recently have been interesting with the death of the emissary. No, not it leads to an open seat, and they go into politics kind of stuff of the council. Nobody's been appointed to replace the emissary, who never actually picked a side on the council, but still, that kind of stuff. The representative for the Church of the Icons has been removed for whatever reasons, and the rumor is because she was sympathetic to the Circle of the Seekers, who are sympathetic to humanites. She's been removed for those heretical conversations and so on, and so the council is tearing itself apart, and the Ari and the other host are talking about how this death now is only going to make things worse. Things are going, that kind of stuff, and it's all political. And then they're like, and we'll talk to our council political correspondent. You see is just arriving, fixing the dilemma to sort of like, oh, it's like 3 a.m. I should have been in bed, but now I'm talking about politics on the bulletin kind of thing. And it just evolves into that sort of fill the air with the stuff, fill the content sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get on my space phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see if there's been any kind of updates from my political contacts. I imagine that there are a few in my client base, certainly a few that probably follow on space Twitter and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see what the feel is there, because this could be an opportune time to insert oneself.
Okay, so let me.
What did I come back to?
Politics, Pete. Politics.
Less exciting than you may have thought.
All right. So there are. You already see like there are a number. I guess there would be like an Alchemars event calendar that courtesans would have access to, sort of, so when to have things ready and that kind of, when to be ready, when you've got 2 hours to get this dress pressed in order to make this event over here. It's very, very hard work being that kind of stuff. And probably a number of like I want to be like, you know, like hospitality behind the scenes, like the change of this event, like you'd have access to those sort of stuff being part of that. Also, there is the college, the artisan college on Coriolis, where you can train to become a courtesan kind of thing, that kind of stuff. And you can already see that, like, locations, private dining rooms, different people are like, oh, you know, I've been contacted by this ambassador for an event on this day. Who's going to be my counterpart, so we can not clash in clothes, not giving away sort of like secrets, but more like, you know, I want to make sure I represent and you represent best, and that kind of stuff. Or I've got to prep the meal for this, or I've been hired to do this already. People are like,
and this is exactly the people I've been building contact with.
Yeah, and you can see
over the last month, building that sort of network behind the scenes.
Yeah, so already people are booking location. Nobody like there's no sort of like confirmation of who's meeting who. It's just you
but
can
we'd
see.
know whose favourites were who.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Based on who's getting appointments, it would be a safe idea to be able to work out who's likely to be going to that meeting and things like that.
Yeah, so you can start like pulling the Shanaz's beautiful string wall is turning into like a massive kind of web. All these people. But right now it seems like everybody is on edge. Like you actually maybe not surprised, because that would suggest a level of like unprofessionalism, like caught off guard. But you're like quicker than anticipated. This has got, you know, big waves. And it's all like, you can see it's all members of the council or like their secondary or tertiary representatives. The Coriolis Council is very much now aflame, because also obviously Sister Almas,
this one riot is actually an inciting event rather than a standalone thing.
Yeah.
See, when the boys told me about it, I was thinking, oh yeah, they're going to a riot, enjoy. They'll come back with some bruises, say they had a bloody great time. Don't remember at least 4 hours, you know.
Those lads from Algol.
But now I'm thinking, okay, this is done to look like one thing while at the same time being something else. So I'm spotting an incitement going on here. So I'm going to start, working the old culture threads.
Actually,
see what's whatting.
Make a culture roll.
And that. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. What you do notice is none of the places normally booked up by the security agencies, so like the Legion or the Legion or the Colonial Agency. None of their typical sort of locations have been booked.
Likelihood there then is that they already have a contingency plan in play for this kind of outbreak and have just activated it, whereas the others are trying to react.
None of the security, the typical Colonial Agency or the Legion have done anything you would anticipate, or anything. They're all silent. Like, there's no one booked in those rooms. There's no one, like, I don't know, Farida, who normally goes with the general of this to meet, does, you know, the procurement for this one. None of those meetings have been set up. Like, she's probably there being like, got all my dresses ready. Oh, this is prime money making time, and I'm just better go and chat with another, that kind of stuff. But none of those are sort of ready. Yusuf and Silsila, you like charge into the sanatorium.
You walk briskly.
Yeah, walk briskly, setting up shots. What is it you're looking for? Anything in particular?
I mean, Silsilla's just got vague ideas of there must be people who can't get out. I'll try and get some of them out. And also, really, this is the Yusuf show.
All right, Yusuf.
Yeah, I'm curious as to if there's any kind of big sign saying Mystic Brainwashing Department or special section, or is there a map near the beginning which is like restricted
shit,
area,
nice
restricted
shit.
area?
Yeah.
I mean, near the front desk, near the front entrance, like the main entrance, there is like a reception sort of podium.
Yep.
And normally there's some sort of Samaritan initiate who's there, and they'll call up like supervisors and that kind of stuff. And you can see like there is a map. Well, there would normally be a map, but it now like digital map, which you can go follow this and do that. But now it's saying like, please evacuate the building for your safety and comfort. Please evacuate, kind of thing. You want to go in and start trying to like pull up details from this info station.
Yeah.
Give us
Anyway, you're not supposed to go.
Yeah, give us.
I think that's probably where.
What would it be? A tech roll?
Sure. Or
Can
data
I
gen.
assist?
Data gen, yes, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Data gen.
I can't assist with that. Can assist with tech.
Here we go. I've got a little bit of everything. One success.
One success. All right, so it's you don't get like, here's where we do the weird mystic experiments section, but you do
Sure.
get like, a list of stuff like there's a number of like talking therapies where they go, and you've got like the schedule for when they are. There are a number of like drug trials, mystic drug trial, Alpha, Beta, and Charlie kind of thing, which to any like, does he have any Medicare? Do either of you? No. All right. So there's 3 mystic drug trials going on, and they've got 3 locations which are near each other, that kind of stuff, and it's all like it's all reasonably in the same sort of section of the sanatorium. Obviously, they want to keep the weird mystics over there away from the normal people, kind of thing.
I'll point at the map and say to Silsilla, this is where the drug trials go on the Mystics. We're going there.
Let's run then. I take it the fire suppression system's been activated inside.
Yeah.
They didn't just leave.
No, the suppression systems stuff. There are a number of places you can see where. I mean, it's a space station. They've like basically set up an airlock and evacuated air from the room, so it won't spread into that location, kind of thing. Like it's not going to get past and that kind of stuff. So there are some no O2 sections.
Yeah. I just like there's a chance that they just thought, oh damn, we'll let it burn down to hide our tracks and just run out the building.
No, in the past couple of weeks, months, even since the emissary has been there and this has all been announced, and all that kind of stuff, they have been on a full-on like, we're not going anywhere because we're not the bad guys and we're really here to help you, Coriolis, sort of thing.
Okay.
So they have been on a full-on charm offensive, but also.
Can I see anything that's kind of, because I wasn't when we went out to the pub, I wasn't carrying any weapons on me. But is there anything that looks like table leg or pacification rod,
like a glow stick from Demolition Man?
Yeah, or whatever. Is there anything like that? Because we might need to like smash a window or
you could
club someone over the head.
You could probably like find a broken chair or
that's cool.
Like something like that. But
just
nothing,
I want when
past-
Silsilla turns around, Yusuf is holding a weapon in his hand,
a blunt stick.
down low, like
I'd
down at the side.
rather assume that like Silsilla's just put his gun in the baggy pockets, like down the middle of his thighs.
Oh, okay.
If you're not licensed, you can't carry a gun on Coriolis.
Oh, in which case, then I imagined incorrectly.
I mean, they don't normally let people.
My Vulcan carbine doesn't fit in my pants,
No, it's
unfortunately.
an accelerator pistol. So
You want to try and? I mean, if you get caught with it,
no, it's all right. I mean,
you get caught with it. I don't know you. I've never met you before.
You just dragged me here, Your Honor. It's just pulled me along.
I assumed I did have it, but it's fine if I don't. Cause,
It's up to you. Like, you running that risk of someone catching you with an unauthorized weapon on Coriolis. Are you hoping a friend or someone will...
We're in the middle of a riot. I wouldn't worry about it. Have the gun.
Fair enough then, yeah. Because I was just like, we're going to like dive bars. We're gambling with reprobates who may be, slightly violent. So
yeah, okay. So Yusuf has armed himself. Silsila like pats his flight pocket on his knitted flight suit. And then you're going to run to the other side of the sanatorium to check out like the drug trials and that kind of stuff.
Sounds good.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we sort of charge through the sanatorium. It's not like the most not the easiest or most direct route. You want to maybe avoid like the suppression drones and being on like the operator feeds and stuff. Like, no, you want to try and stay out of sight as you head through. You can see like the general wings as you kind of head through. There are like disarray as they've just knocked tables over and tried to get the walk-in sick out, that kind of thing. You perhaps move past a ward that's got sort of empty bed sections, where they've literally unplugged beds.
Yeah.
Let it run on power support and push people out of the building, kind of thing. And it's a bit odd to sort of head through like especially after like last month where you were in a beautiful hospital and you had it almost all to yourself, and now this is sort of like a zombie side ghost hospital kind of thing. It's a bit spooky. But we come to
Is there anything good to nick on the way?
I don't think we've got time for that, Yusuf.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
Like,
I'll
on the
look
way
around
out,
for a
once
minute.
we've got there, and
yeah.
find
He's just
whatever
trying to
we're
rip
going to
the
find.
magnets
On
out
the
of
way
an
out, nick
MRI
all the
machine.
things. We'll get
I
Ned on
take
the
a
way
few.
out, just
I take a
pow.
few pears out of my pockets to try and put some other. Still got some of the fruit left over from the last hospital.
6 years from now, you still have sanatorium pens that you nicked at this point.
Absolutely.
So the engine of the ship is put together with like medical grade tape.
Yeah. Is this gauze?
I should put a plaster on it. I literally put a plaster on it. It's fine. We head through. We get to this other wing, like the far corner. You can see that there must have been like a late night kind of meeting going on here. One of the rooms you kind of look in, you can still see a couple of people's bags or coats on chairs, kind of thing, as they've like all got up and left. There are some pamphlets like scattered on the floor, like a side of baklava and coffee sort of there. You just steal a bit of that. Got a cup of coffee as you head around.
As you run past, she's like, hold a plate, pour the coffee.
Yeah. You head down further to like the drug trial rooms where we saw them on the thing. They were like they're all relatively ordered and clean. You can see like there are like it looks like a blood donation room kind of thing. Obviously it's not blood donation. It's an intravenous sort of medical procedure goes on. But there are like rows of beds close enough that you could sort of turn and chat to your neighbor while you take on whatever drugs are part of
Scream
the
in
trial.
their face in agony.
In agony, or cry together in unison.
Yeah, typical alcohol hospital there.
Yeah, it might be from where you folks are from. Yeah, yeah. You can see, there's there is like a station at the end, like a nurse's room with trial information, and it looks like they've got like a locked sort of door on that.
Ooh.
And then there's another room next to it with everything laid out the same. And then there is another room next to that with everything laid out the same, except you see somebody must have been in the process of maybe cleaning or tidying up here, because there's like a cleaning trolley sort of left in the middle of the room and a bucket knocked on the floor kind of thing. Like the custodial staff are making their way rounds at this late at night kind of thing, but then they've just bolted.
Okay, locked cabinet.
Yeah, there's three of it. So each room has like a locked
Sure.
sort of stuff at the end. It's obviously where they're...
Pop that.
I mean, good news, you said. There's no people here.
Well, yeah. That is good.
I think
They
it's a
clearly they were
basement.
doing.
There's always creepy shit in the basement.
I mean, the basement of Coriolis is very creepy.
Yeah, we're not going down there.
Oh, I just meant the sanatorium.
Not today.
basement.
No, yeah, no. Yeah, I'm leaving a door open. Yeah, I'm sure there's some weird shit in the basement. I want to see what they were doing to these people.
All right, so you've got two choices to try and get through the door. You could do a bit of brute force strength, literally break the door, or you could do a infiltration, try and be a little bit more sneaky and pick it kind of thing.
I'll move out the way for Silsilla.
Come on, get me in.
I mean, I was going to shoot it, mate, but all right.
I mean, yeah, you could literally destroy
Do
the
it.
door
That'd be
with a
great
weapon.
if I moved out the way thinking you're going to come over and you just go.
Bang.
The building is on fire, right? So
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Sure,
You can hear-
sure, do
You
it.
can
do
hear
it.
like the warning suppression drones echoing through the things. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
you do know though, Graham, that you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
well, that's what I'm going to try and do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a flamethrower, so we should be okay for the record.
So, what weapon have you got?
It's just an accelerator pistol.
What damage does it do?
2.
Yeah, you don't need to roll. You can just sort of like you and do that kind of thing in case of that sort of thing.
Yeah. Aim at an angle.
Yeah, that sort of thing. You blow the.
The cupboard isn't a mimic then, because it doesn't try and dodge.
Yeah, it doesn't dodge, nor do you stick to it. So you open, like, you get access to the nurse's station and
That's
all the
like door
all the
number
stuff
1,
in
is
there.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do door number 2. You
So
do
you
number
leave,
1.
you go into the next one, and you so there's a lot of patient information here. They refer to the drug they're taking purely by like
Code or something.
Yeah, a code
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
And all the administration, like it lists the medicine this person has been given, and it seems to be like on a regular occurrence every like 6 or 7 days. Yeah, every 6 days or so they have a new infusion of the drug. There is a consent form in it. As you kind of read through it, it's part of a medicine trial to suppress mystic disease and the associated side effects of that disease. And the person has signed like the medical waiver away and that kind of stuff. They agree, like, should they suffer like bad side effects from the trial, the sanatorium will cover all the medical care kind of thing. They agree to sharing all their medical data, that kind of stuff. There is a code on it that refers to their file on the server with all the questionnaires and that kind of stuff. But the paperwork, like the day-to-day sort of physical
Monitoring and all that kind of stuff.
There's a lot of like, yeah, just kind of stuff. As you sort of quickly kind of glance through them, they all seem to be relatively youngish. Like there's no sort of OAPs who have, and you would know from the mystic disease yourself, like everybody has got the mystic.
It's not a disease.
Yeah, okay. So everybody who is mystic has mystic powers. Everybody who's mystic, it scans the whole sort of range from like little kids to old folks. Everybody has developed these powers.
Yeah.
Whereas the sanatorium seem to have selected a very niche, like a very small group of folks.
The most resilient potential patients.
Least likely to die is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
When
Or
you
like
say-
possibly have the best, immune system to fight anything off, so they can make the best darts for killing mystics at long range.
I mean, I hear bullets work well at killing mystics
What
at long
age
range.
range are we talking about?
Like 18 to 25.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because I was like, is this like a pre-puberty thing? But no, it's just
No,
young
it's
adults.
just like a
Okay,
young adult kind of thing.
Mhm.
There is, and like, I guess medical trials wouldn't be that sort of unknown in the horizon. You've got to develop this
Sure.
kind of stuff. The thing that's odd here is there's no sort of like, at the end of the trial, you'll get 50,000 bear. There's like no monetary sort of thing at the end of it. Like people are signed up out of perhaps desperation or fear or whatever kind of these, or
Or
maybe they're just
dogma.
dogma, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I gotta snatch a load of this stuff, so we've got like
You must
information
have
about.
something to take pictures of it with.
Yeah, you probably have a tabula or a
Oh yeah. Actually, I do have tabula.
yeah. Just,
So I will be doing the old spy movie.
yeah. Yeah. There is.
I've just put mine on video and I'm just like flipping the pages past. I'm not
Yeah.
doing photos.
And you do the same. So you gather like each of the rooms have got similar stuff. You come to the same room. You come to like and there are refrigeration units inside of them. And I really get frightened when I mention refrigeration units and I'm playing Coriolis because somebody's going to die now.
I won't. I'm not going to stand in front of any of them.
Okay, just stand next to them. They're only small.
Maybe those
Okay.
are the mimic.
Yeah, they're only small and they're
Oh.
bolted to the floor. Like you can't move them. It's
Okay.
a strange feature that Coriolis has implemented.
Safety first.
But when you look in them, you can see, they look a little bit like plasma bags kind of thing, but it's a clear liquid that's in them.
I think it's the drug.
Yeah, that's it. There's a similar kind of code on them as what's been noted.
I mean, let's take some. I
will take some.
You take one from
Purely
each room,
s-
or a couple from each
Yeah,
room.
well, a couple from each room, pictures of all the names,
Yeah.
and then burn the rest.
You should just start setting fire to stuff. Yeah.
Well, the whole building's going down.
I mean,
you know.
let's not burn where we are. I mean, it's going down anyway. I mean, you could just turn the fridge off or leave it open.
Yeah, but the documents I want to,
Destroy.
Is there a shredder? Can I go and slowly
I mean, I don't
spend
think there's a
45
shredder in
minutes
here.
shredding?
Well, that was late.
yeah.
I don't think there's a shredder in
Oh,
here.
This one got stuck. Sorry. Oh, it had staples in it. Who didn't take the staples out?
You'd think in the Third Horizon we had developed a better thing to
Order
do.
of the Pariah. They're pretty,
Yeah, that's why they're pariahs. They don't take staples out. That's why everyone hates them.
bastards.
I just go back into the first room and just go, and like just cutting his fingers every single time. So, Yusuf, either we go look for a security station, see if there's cameras, see if there's people, or we just
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we've got some important information and samples. There must be a
we
group
could have
out
a quick,
there.
how close is the fire to my face check?
You can the sound of the drones is
Okay, let's go.
diminishing. You gather that they're probably now getting it under control. It's been
They've given up, or they've got it under control.
Yeah.
one of the two. It's been going on for maybe an hour and a half now. This fire.
That's cool. I was going to ask a question because I have a tech skill of 3, but you can tell me
Ooh.
something else. What do the drones do to put fires out? So really specifically, I guess I'm asking, do they use something like halon, which will remove oxygen and kill us? Are they just like, no, have a bit of water on the fire?
I think
I think it's foam, isn't it?
I don't think they use fire, but yeah, it'd probably be some sort of foam.
Yeah, you
Oh,
wouldn't
that's
send
cool. So we're
Halon
not gonna die
using
from the
drones
suppressant.
into a
That's all right.
hospital.
You wouldn't on a space station. You probably wouldn't do that, would you?
Do what?
You would if it was a
Depends on
sealable-
the kind of fire, doesn't it?
Mhm.
It does.
Like removing
I mean, they put
oxygen.
Halon
If it's a
in
chip
fire
pan, you put
extinguishers
a
in.
blanket over the top.
I think
They put Halon in server rooms.
the
Yeah.
scale of Coriolis though is something that you need to consider because
Yeah, it's huge.
it's like a good mile and a bit up to the fans in the ceiling.
It's decadent. That's what it
yeah,
is.
It's huge.
Here we
It's
go.
not like
Dodecagon.
How many floors of housing could we fit in there for people who don't have a place to live?
yeah, that kind of stuff.
That's underneath, Pete.
Like huge towering sort of.
All right, yeah. So
thing,
we're cool. We're not
rather
going to
than,
get like deoxygenated.
What am I trying
Yeah.
to think? Rather than like cramped alien, the
Yeah, yeah.
Stromo sort of thing. It's huge.
Yeah.
To remove the oxygen from a smaller place would be simpler. Well, this is like
It's because you're
massive.
talking about airlocks and things like that. And
I mean, some parts of the station, some parts of the sanatorium are secure and that kind of stuff. Like they've got like an infectious disease
oh yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
cool.
outbreak sort of areas, and for them, they just take the people out, close it, and
Yeah.
remove the oxygen from that area, and then the infectious diseases or whatever they've got in there stays in there.
Okay,
kind of
cool. Security station it is then, eh?
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know how to
imminent-
use it, but let's.
just mash some buttons. I mean, come on, they train security guards. How much training do they get?
Yeah, okay, that's a very good point.
Shanaz Would you make a culture roll for me, please?
Mm-hmm. That is one of the things I do rather well. That's 3 successes.
Excellent. All right. So you're sort of sat there, looking over these appointments, these room bookings, these requests for specific meal, that kind of stuff, trying to put together what's the angle, who's the leaders, who's in like the highest places kind of thing. And you notice maybe a couple of things. Those folks who are not necessarily order of the pariah, but those folks who are
I think I know where you're going with this. It's not the people who are like the outspoken frontline fundies. It's just the ones that vote for all of their policies.
Yeah. So those folks, you see that there are a number of people who are readying shuttles. There is a movement, like there's people who are leaving Coriolis already, an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
Already they're deciding they need to move. They're leaving. They're getting out. You can see that perhaps like a couple of quartets, some musicians, some bands. A chef is like, oh, I'm suddenly free from like this order. Anybody got some gigs for this? Anybody need a chef for that kind of stuff? As they are cancelling things, moving things, tables become free at Alkmaar when they're normally block booked every 12 o'clock for the lunch kind of thing. That's already, people are like moving out.
This sounds like a coup.
Well, if it is, then it's the coup people who are leaving. It's the people I would be expecting to go for the coup who are the ones that are leaving. It sounds almost like an anti-coup, because the people that have been attacked are the pariah people and all of the hardliners.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the bad guys who are leaving. I would like to book a space, quite a large space, and throw a little party for all of those people that suddenly find themselves out of work. Nothing big, just a little gathering of maybe 200-300 people.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I
We're
figured
in the
that
wrong line of business here, aren't we, Yusuf?
there's going to be a lot of people who know a lot of stuff who are suddenly pissed off with their bosses and at a loose end. And actually having someone say, well, let's have a get together here. We'll see what we can do to help each other recoup our losses. And it's a step towards building the guild. Union.
I say we've gone from a union to a guild. A guild sounds a lot more important, to be fair.
Courtesan Guild.
Courtesan and Associates Guild, I assume.
Seamstress Guild. No, wait, stop. All right. So you start sort of looking at that, maybe trying to find it. Nothing too fancy, but not a dive. Like
I want it to be
modest,
professional, modest, clean.
Okay.
It'll be well catered because some of the people that will be catering it are the people who have just lost jobs.
Yeah, food would be great. Best baklava on Coriolis. No Musaa Kula at this party.
So we don't want it to be attracting attention from people that would want to come to a party. We want it to be for the people who don't get to have parties of their own, but get taken to other people's parties and are on duty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Start putting
the
out
Coriolis equivalent of Chuck E. Cheese.
No.
That's where you're going to be, just hidden away. No one's ever coming here. We can just have it to ourselves.
More of a sort of Ramada deal than a Marriott. No, a Marriott rather than a Hilton.
Okay. All right. As you as you're sending out that, and as Yusuf and Silsila are kind of sleuthing, debating about whether to set fire to these trial rooms, that kind of stuff. a thing happens that doesn't normally happen on Coriolis. In general, the as much as Coriolis is a station, it tries to affect this sort of organic. We're a real living, thriving city. Each area is, we have guards. The station itself, we don't talk about O2 rationing and water control or anything like that kind of stuff. We're a real living, breathing place kind of thing. You all sort of hear across the systems that are barely used because they try to pretend to be a city, and it's a voice that breaks out.
My vote's on GLaDOS.
I have been testing.
You're all going to die down here.
Yeah. Come on, book.
I think in that scenario, me and Yusuf are the potato.
Because I'm a potato. Oh, why is it never where you remember it's supposed to be?
Applies to so much in life, like keys, money, RPG pages.
See page XX.
I did that in Cycamp. I had to do an update. Schools, no.
White Wolf was so notorious for doing it that they actually put page XX at the back of the Malkavian clan book.
Good
Love
place
it.
to put XX.
Just put all the stuff there. Yeah, that's cool.
There was like loads of
That's
errata
great.
from like 4 different game lines.
What's Cycamp?
That's very surreptitious there. Just like, I don't know what you mean, Pete. I'm lost. I can't read everything that's going on here.
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, it's in my brain.
Hang
How did
on.
that get there?
There's a button she's going to press.
There's the book up, Pete.
All right, so there is
We're in Psycamp. That's what the sanatorium is. It's Psycamp.
similar system. Like if you like the Year Zero engine, anyway. So there is like this odd maybe crackle of static and that strange kind of noise of old sort of speakers and a PA system like clearing dust, like things that have not been used for some time, and it echoes around. And first, you maybe think it echoes around the sanatorium or around Alchemaz as you're finishing your very delicate evening meal kind of thing, morning, late night, mid morning, whatever. Alchemaz doesn't judge. Whatever, like that, and it sort of echoes around, and you see Yusuf and Silsila don't, because they're sort of hidden alone. But you see like the waiters of Alchemaz sort of look, and there's that kind of like, what kind of thing is it? It's sort of stuff, and then it's crackly at first, but it's the voice that of somebody you've seen on all of the bulletins, and like they drone on, and they're like boring. It's Kamal Dargosian, the governor of Coriolis, head of the Coriolis Council, for all intents and purposes, the person in charge of this station, who officially gets to make all the decisions, but technically has to rule by council, and doesn't actually do any decisions, sort of thing. And you hear his voice kind of come over the long unused speaker system of PA system, public address system of Coriolis, and he says, "Citizens of Coriolis, your cooperation is needed. We have detected a threat to the station and the system at large. We require you to return to your homes. Comply. A curfew is now enacted until further notice. Please, for your safety and comfort, return to your homes and safe locations. Please do not try to exit Coriolis station to any vehicles in the net, and please wait for further instructions. Thank you. This message will repeat."
It won't self-destruct though.
It won't
Yeah,
self-destruct.
I was.
Yeah, so literally, isn't it? Yeah.
But it sort of stops. And in Shanaz sees folks who are like, obviously, like rich folks calling over waiters, like, "What is this interruption? Why am I being told? What is this real?" And they're like, "Yes." Like there's maitre d's, like higher level folks who are checking in with stuff. You see a number of judges who are, and we don't know whether they are up late or up early. Like, are they before their first cases or after a night of partying kind of thing? And they're all sat together, they've been talking, they look at like a tabula and stuff, and they look at each other, and they immediately pack up and are left kind of thing. As they sort of head to their personal exit, like their private foyer where they obviously put in anything that they, we have to like take guns or, things that shouldn't be brought into Alkmaar's. They sort of head to that way. You see a number of maitre d's like and folks head out to the tables, and they're clearly saying, say your car is here kind of thing, that sort of stuff. There is an adjudicator who comes in and speaks to somebody, and they get up and they leave. And it's very much like a, oh no, this isn't like some sort of, we want the riffraff to be, it's not because there's been a riot and that kind of stuff. Something serious is happening.
No, if they're interrupting breakfast and dinner at Alkmaar's, then whole station better be on fire.
Yeah.
Dinner at Alkmaar sounds like my favourite sitcom.
I think, what would dinner at Alkmaar's be? It'd be like
breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like somebody who won the lottery at Alkmaar's and falls in love with somebody at Alkmaar's, and like a Pretty Woman story kind of thing. It'd be that kind of story, wouldn't it? That was what dinner at Alkmaar's would be. That's one of my favourite things about Coriolis. You can enter a raffle to win dinner at Alkmaar's. But you can get at your temple. One of my favourite things. Anyway, so yeah, as you watch these folks sort of leaving, and as like these higher, fancier people, like the rich kids who have been out getting drunk, they suddenly like sort of sober up and are like, well, if they're leaving and that adjudicator's been here, we're going home kind of thing. Like we're scooting sort of stuff. As you're sat there, what is Shanaz eating? What has she picked? What is
Probably a little lamb cleftico.
Yeah,
Sounds quite tasty.
Like one of the waiters comes over and says, "Would you like us to pack this for you? I'm afraid, as we are this far in the spire, we are required to evacuate under this order. We've checked with the legislation, and yes, we must close. This is the first time since Coriolis. I'm so sorry for your interruption.
Don't worry about it, dear. It's absolutely fine. You don't need to pack it up. I'm just about done anyway. Very nice. My compliments to the chef. Well, thank you very much."
And he nods. He offers you like a bowl of water and a hot, that kind of stuff to clear a glass,
dip.
That kind of stuff. Clean yourself up. Make a. I've got take an observation roll.
Observation is wits.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's hardly any dice. 6 dice? Who uses 6 dice?
6 dice.
Amateurs. That's only 2 successes.
All right, pretty good success. Not a critical, But a reasonably well success. So as you're sat there, I remember Alkmaar's is at the top of Coriolis. It's the point that points at the monolith. You're maybe 50, 60 kilometers away from the very top of the monolith at this sort of geosynchronous lock.
Which is silly close in space terms.
Yeah, it's like they sort of hold like that kind of stuff. And as you sort of like glance up this beautiful dome and you sort of follow Coriolis around, follow Kua around, you can see that there is, I mean, there's not like a cap, there's not like a fleet that sort of patrols Coriolis Kua airspace. It's like, who would attack Coriolis? But you see a number of like Coriolis guard ships, like literally fly through that gap sort of thing. And then there is a number of the pilot in school, and I forget what it is off the top of my head, but a number of those ships that kind of fly out from Kua. Like something has entered Coriolis airspace, like space kind of thing, and it spooked these folks.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Who's leaving that would have the most ability to know what was going on? Are any of those judges still around?
Yeah, there might be in like I'm a judge, you do not interrupt my breakfast, go away.
Yeah, what I
That
might
kind of
do is
situation.
attach myself to that person for my own safety, obviously, because I'm but frail and weak
Yeah.
and need the protection of such a powerful hero.
Hmm.
It's not that there's no audio, we're just being quiet, Sheridan.
Yeah, sorry. Just thinking. All right, so you would know them maybe by their first name, Naheen. She is Naheen Dolphasra. Dolphasra is the like the honorific. And their name is Naheen. They are quite tall and slender. They are the sort of judge who just takes the literal interpretation of the Coriolis law. Like they are not known for being particularly flexible,
imaginative, creative.
Yeah, then they're very literal in like. Which can be good in some senses, but also in other senses, it's like, yeah, you were actually drinking in a place you shouldn't drink. It doesn't matter that you were bumped there by the riot. You were drinking in a place you shouldn't have drunk. You know, like you're that kind of stuff. And Judge Naheen, she's sitting there and she's just like eating a porridge. You can see it's like a porridge. There's a bowl of fruit, that kind of thing. And there is an Alkmaar's attendant who is like, and she's clearly done something like, nobody talks to me until I finish my porridge kind of move. And she's just calmly eating a porridge. She's like, no, you know, that kind of stuff. Nobody talks. Maybe she's got like some headphones or something on. She's not heard the announcement. This is her morning routine. And she will not deviate from this routine because this is what she does every day, and why should she capitulate to anything else? You know, that kind of thing.
Absolutely understandable. I shall insinuate myself in a discreet and tactful way with my redonkulous reputation of 7.
Yes. So you move over. Obviously, the Alkmaar's.
I'll send the Alkmaar's attendant away. That's what I'll do to get her attention.
Oh, so you send them away and you take up station like a courtesan to help with like that kind of sort of thing. That kind of stuff. And there's obviously a moment where Judge Naheen realizes her routine has been broken. Obviously, this Alkmaar's staff member is the person who serves her porridge every morning. And she removes her headphones, places them next to a tabula, puts down a spoon, takes a spoon out of a bowl, places it on the napkin, and looks over to you and says, I'm afraid, Shanaz, I have not made an appointment with yourself. Please send back Aziz to continue. I'm due my coffee in a moment.
I understand, Naheen. What did you say? Dahara was the title?
Dolfasra.
Dolfasra, Naheen Dolfasra. Unfortunately, Alkmaar's has been ordered to close. Everyone has been sent to quarantine in their chambers. There's something occurring outside.
And she looks at you and she goes, well, that would only occur when legislative order. And she lists like the order that would be like the only situation, which is what's been enacted, has never been acted
Quite
before.
right. And if you listen for a moment.
And she stops, and then there is the governor's voice, and you see, like, she literally sits up and pays attention, like in school kind of moment, where she sits back, she listens, she says, oh, why did Aziz not notify me? Like, kind of moment where you see Aziz is just like, oh, give me a break, like, I just can't win, kind of thing. Well, you should not be here either. Come on. You can use my cart. I have my driver with us. Come. And she gets up. She picks up her tabula, that kind of stuff, and heads to her private exit, like her station, greeting room kind of thing. Heads that way. In there is a driver. Like the doors open. There's a driver, and he's basically got like a whole bag together. He's you can tell he's been pacing. Like he's been like, oh, when is she gonna come? Like I've got the cart ready, I've got the bag stuff, I've checked everything out, like come on, kind of thing. And he says, we're not going to the exercise facility, we're going back to your quarters, correct? Like he's like, oh my gosh, kind of thing. She's like, yes, under the general order we should return to my residence. And oh, Shanaz, are you do you have a station here, and do you need a place to rest whilst the general orders are
Very kind of you, Your Honor. Dalfasra? I guess it's
yeah.
just still Dalfasra, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very kind, Dalfasra. Thank you.
And she shows you to a car. The driver's like, yeah, get in, come on, kind of thing, as polite as he can. And she sits down in the car, and you can see she's like looking through notifications that she's clearly ignored up till now. She flicks through a couple of them, and she's like, "That's curious. There's a number of airspace warnings, and the monolith has been evacuated down to the lowest levels, kind of thing." And like, you ever heard of such things? And
I noticed as well that there was activity in the space between us and the monolith. The piloting school and the Coriolis Guard are both on maneuvers, it would seem, very suddenly. Certainly nothing like that has been told to me by any of my contacts in the military.
She says, oh, like, give me a couple of moments. And you can see she's sending a couple of messages to like other judges, maybe a couple of military personnel, that kind of thing. And it's very kind of like where Cecilia will be sort of like, sir, any updates? Like if he was still in the thing. This is like, oh, Jabal, please tell me Jabal, what's going on? Like Jabal how is so that kind of stuff. And colleague, please update me on the situation, that kind of stuff. And please ask that kind of thing. And there's a brief moment where she'll ask you something like, what do you think would be the best thing to wear to this? Like she's asking you as a courtesan sort of advice, kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, should absolutely get the very best tip-top advice.
It's is this, this product as good as it should be and that kind of stuff? And you're like, yeah.
No, actually, you can get the same result using this product at a third the price.
Okay.
Not that price is important, but it's a principle matter.
Yeah, no, that kind of stuff. And so there's this very odd level of like casual conversation that for almost anybody else, Shanaz would think it would be like nervous chatter, but for Judge Naheen, you're like, this is just who they are.
That's how she rolls.
Yeah, she just seems to be unconcerned until he literally has to be. And a couple of
I will absolutely fish for any information that I can get out of her.
She's like, it seems there's been an emergency call of the council. They're deliberating over some sort of military action. A monastery cruiser is in range.
That's very curious. I noticed that several members of the council had left the station just before the lockdown was announced. And I'll list a couple of the key players who I know are some of the more overtly conservative ones.
Yeah, she's they didn't say they were leaving anytime. It must be it's okay though. A Legion cruiser is in the area. They should be here within moments to protect the station.
I'm sure that will help.
Of course, yes. It's Captain Daraben. I know their family from. She lists like something on Kua. Oh no, Ariana. Ariana is lovely. She's very level-headed, very good family kind of thing.
Oh, of course, yes, they must be related to the such and such.
Yeah, and then there's that inane kind of conversation. You reach the judge's residence. The driver kind of opens up and leads you in. She offers you like breakfast goods, and that kind of stuff. There's actually not that much she can offer. Like she's a bit like,
please, Naheen Del Fazra, your breakfast was interrupted. Allow me, and I'll switch into courtesan mode and just like raid her kitchen and start preparing whatever I can throw together.
Yeah, like there's some juice, a number of condiments. She's probably got like some fruit, but nothing like clearly Naheen. What was that, Pete?
Some crackers.
Yeah, clearly
some
Naheen.
emergency space Pop-Tarts.
Naheen just sort of like orders in or eats out. Like there's nothing to prepare here. Like this is the sort of thing. Like if you knew you were going to have this engagement, like be there for breakfast, you would have brought food with you or a chef along with you and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem to be invited. Like it doesn't occur to her that there is nothing in stock. Kind of.
But why would you need food in your house?
Yeah,
that's why you go to food places.
That sort of stuff. And so yeah, crackers. There's obviously coffee and like a bunch of different drinks and stuff, and a couple of like snacks and things, but nothing like substantial.
Well, I'll do something creative and like make some kind of fruit and cracker porridge by mushing things together and
sauce.
Yeah, on a bed of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salad cream.
Yeah. Like she doesn't have a fridge. Like I've just decided she doesn't have a fridge.
Doesn't even have a fridge. That's probably safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Yes,
safer.
in this house. Oh god, I'm never gonna forget it.
Just read the bulletins after all.
Yeah. And so like you spend some time doing this. When the general order went out, when the governor of Coriolis came on the Tannoy, what did Yusef and Silsila do?
That was the other thing I was going to do at that point. When I've got into the kitchen, it means I can contact them. I'll shoot them both a quick message.
Okay.
Basically, shit's gone down, boys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're in the middle of
Hold
a
your
burning
stick
building.
still while I rub my stick against
Gotta
it.
do it faster.
Come on.
Push down.
Okay, we're doing a little bit of survival training to burn the medical department down. Is that what we're doing?
I think we were trying to find a security station.
Yeah,
to, like,
that was just a
check cameras.
facetious
If
comment
that
I
thing
made
goes
about-
off, then it's like,
Yeah, so as you're sort of like, station, this general order, this crackle goes out, and you're like, what? So
station.
I know, I thought exactly the same.
Sorry.
this general order goes out. Everybody should return to their residence. Do not leave the station. Do not go out into airspace. Return to your point of residents until further notice. Blah 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 blah. This message will repeat.
What the
All
fuck's
right.
going on, man?
Like, it gives me serious Bioshock vibes, like, the whole "would you kindly." I mean, like, between us and are we even allowed on our ship? Like, but there's a riot and 10 minutes of travel.
We can get on our ship, we just can't leave.
Okay.
So it depends on whether you're paying the exorbitant rates of having the Kudapatilla docked on Coriolis, or the slightly more affordable rates of putting it out in the net.
We're bound to be in the net, let's
Yeah,
face
but you
it.
can't get to your ship right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're here, so do we just...
Well, we want to get out of this place now, don't we? Because everyone's going to be sodding off. They're going to be using maximum force. But, yeah.
Should we just check the security station anyway?
Yeah, let's just check the station quickly.
All right, so give us a data gym roll.
Okay. Ooh, 2 successes.
Okay. So you look over the stuff and you can see that like the security cameras are not hard to get past the evacuate fire sort of level of security. Like you sort of tack into that. You can see the system is sort of tacked onto the suppression drones. Like when they've come within proximity of the sanatorium net, they've joined in to sort of feed out and fill out the network of surveillance kind of thing. And you can see the drones sort of spraying down this foam. Looks like most of it's undercover. You can see that there are people like leaving. They're like who would have been there like emergency services to kind of cover it out, leaving the area because the order's gone off.
We can just grab some like coats, the Samaritan coats, and like leaving that as if we stayed to make sure everyone's gone.
Yeah, on the external kind of things, you can see like people heading towards like the cafes and that kind of stuff. You can see like the riot that was gone on. Like there are about like 50 or so people. There were hundreds of people out there. There are now like 50 or so people who are a bit like, we'll come back to this. Like I'm not leaving because I'm scared. I'm leaving because the big voice in the sky shouted at me.
I'm suddenly law-abiding.
Yeah, I'm suddenly that kind of stuff. And there's that sort of situation. And the Coriolis guards, they're basically still you can see them shouting into like the tabulas to loudspeaker from vehicles and that kind of stuff. The bulletin reporter is long gone. Like there's dust in the sand from this dude sort of thing. But yeah, people are actually following the general order and clearing off. Some of them look confused. You can see on the edges of the surveillance, like some of the cafes or the shops are like calling to the people who were like in the square, calling them over to tell them to come inside there, kind of thing. So it's quite strange. It's starting to look
anything weird going on inside.
Yeah.
That we can see on security cameras.
You can see that there's like in some of the wards you kind of went through earlier, people have come in because no shelter, like nowhere to shelter means I've got to find somewhere to shelter. And even though Coriolis is a big, huge spaceship, there are people who have come and then they can't afford the boat home, like the next ship out, or they lose it all, or they're kicked out of that kind of stuff. So there's sort of like the vagrant community kind of taking up a place of security inside the sanatorium because the fire's mostly out. And that kind of stuff, and that kind of thing. You can see, like nothing. Like there's no sanatorium staff around. Like either they've got places to stay or they've gone off with the
I think we're looking for people still attached to beds in wards,
or they've left.
Yeah. Anything dodgy or anything weird. If not, we're just going to get out, I think.
I think the only sort of weirdest thing you kind of see is like further into the, like maybe in one of the sub levels, there is an area where you can see people in stasis coffins. Like And it's not unknown. Like people here have had like the portal sickness, and they've literally just went, "Oh, we can't solve this. Let's put them in stasis coffins for a bit until we can work out what to do," kind of thing.
Pointing at the screen, and I'm looking at Silsilla like,
What do you want to do? I mean,
I don't know. We've got to get out of here. What the fuck is going on? It's just.
I mean, do we?
We'll get locked in the basement or something, won't we? Or the whole. I don't know.
Well, I guess it's either we leave pretending we worked here, we join those homeless people who have really ballsily just wandered into the burning building.
Yeah, fair play, man.
Or we, go and hang out in a cafe, pretend we were there all along. We're not going to get back to the ship today, so.
No. I mean, I could do with another coffee.
I mean, I'm pretty thirsty after all this running around, so yeah.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. I think we're wandering a bit close to the edge right now.
Yeah, I mean, we could just snap a few pictures of the security cameras,
Sure. Yeah, those get as close, of
that guy's
the stasis pod.
Stole, and,
yep.
Shock horror sneak preview thing. Yeah, let's go and pretend we've been drinking coffee and eating baklava.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head over to one of the tabaks and you head over there to kind of seek shelter with those folks. Do you ditch your press jacket and your sanatorium thing on the way? Just throw them aside.
As soon as we leave and don't get accosted by security, then hell yeah, those are going in the bin.
Yeah. All right. And as you reach the cafe, Shanaz's message kind of comes through. What does Shanaz send them? What does she say? Stop stealing shit. Get to a safe place.
No, it says, boys, this is serious. Monastery v Legion in space.
We're all in space.
He's quite slow.
Group chat is all kinds of fun.
Arsehole council left.
Yeah, and as these sort of folks are panicked, people are talking about all kinds of stuff. You get this message from Shanaz. The owner of the cafe is sort of come in, close the door, sit down. This kind of stuff. Oh, originally this was part of, he's telling you how this is a part of a cargo hold.
Hopefully it was a bomb shelter.
That kind of stuff. And he's talking about which part of the Zenith this cafe was made from. He doesn't know. It was hundreds of years ago. It was 60 years ago.
This was my great uncle's birth then.
Yeah, because you're
official Zenithian.
I mean, a couple of people look at you in that kind of move to the other side of the cafe, that kind of stuff.
Cool. Table to ourselves.
They're talking.
He can't help it.
Yeah. And as we're all sat there, kind of Shanaz is serving the weirdest sort of porridge replacement kind of thing. Silsilla and Yusuf are being served dates and that kind of stuff. The cafe owner is trying to make everybody at home and calm things down and that kind of stuff. There is and it must be huge for the station to sort of rock. The whole of Coriolis sort of, and it's not like Shatner level of that kind of stuff. But the station has always been in geosynchronous orbit around the monolith, and it does everything to kind of stay in the state. And the station, you all feel everybody feels it sort of
twangs,
twang and rock.
Sway.
Yeah, Judge Naheen looks at you, Shanaz, and says, we've engaged in combat with a monastery cruiser. And as it's 11:15, I think that's where we'll end.
Blimey.
All right.
There is space combat outside the Coriolis.
And it's spaceship shooting things. Probably getting shot, honestly, but
I mean, I need to look up the capabilities of the Coriolis station. I don't think it has anything to pew with. It's all down to the Legion and Kuan Defense Force. But yeah, shit's going down, folks.
Serious.
The
Just at the
monastery
same
is the
time as
pariahs?
this riot as
Huh?
well.
The monastery is the pariahs.
Monastery is
Yeah.
the pariahs.
They're the
Um,
people from before. Yeah, okay.
the Legion
Yeah.
is the good guys.
I mean, they seem absent, so
Yeah.
absent without legion.
And yeah, we have engaged in combat with a monastery cruiser. Thanks very much for joining us tonight on Garblag Games. The Ben's like Shanaz plots.
Mm.
Shanaz has a judge to herself for a number of hours now. Shanaz plots. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us. What day is it? It's Tuesday. It's
All day.
Tuesday
Yes.
for about
43
40 minutes here in BST, which means soon it will be Wednesday, which is
And
the
on Wednesday we wear pink.
Wednesday we wear pink. Do we wear pink?
No Awatatau this week.
So we have the longest titled name game on Garblag this week. Yes, excellent. Excellent.
I think you would anyway.
I know. Coriolis, Mercy of the Icons, Last Cyclade, Act 2, yeah.
Yep.
So on and so forth. All right, so no Ow this week, which means we then move into Thursday. What are we doing on Thursday, folks?
D&D.
D&D.
D&D. Aldoon is running the attack on Tribal.
Yep. Oh, it's not called that anymore. He changed
No?
the name of it.
D&D.
But yes, Alton is running some D&D on Thursday.
Excellent. I'm so jealous.
Siege of Tribal.
Siege of Tribal.
Sorry.
Siege of
Yes,
Tribal.
it's going to be a two-parter. So we have one episode this Thursday, and then 2 weeks hence, we will have a follow-up session.
Yes, because I think
Um,
Nye's doing a one-shot in between.
Yep,
Ooh,
yep.
excellent. A
So we're going to have
cliffhanger.
a bit of yeah.
Nice. Exciting. And then is it Acton Cthulhu in North America?
Yeah.
They're rocking Acton Cthulhu for a little while.
Cthulhu.
Mhm.
So that's on North America time. Friday, Blades in the Josh.
No, Blades in the Josh is finished. Now
Oh,
it's
I
Blades
missed
in the
it.
Aaron.
Blades in the Aaron.
Oh gosh,
Yes.
no. Blades from Aaron.
Aaron is running Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Everyone's going to die.
That's going to be scary. I'm looking forward to that then. That's good. But if you don't know what we're talking about, you can check out a lot of these things by having a look on the Discord. We will tell you all about them there, where you can find out what's going on. You can just drool at all the food in the food channel. The other night, I was very much laughing at the Voyager memes in Star Trek. They were good. Poor Harry. And we also tell you what's happening on
Justice
Garblag.
for Tuvix.
Justice for two Bics. And there's a GIF war and so on and so forth. And if you missed, if you don't know why we're talking about fridges being very lethal on Coriolis, you should go and check out the YouTube, because that's where we have all our other shows, all the back catalogue. You don't have to catch up on this, but you can see some Star Trek. There's a couple of Star Trek games over on the YouTube.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
lots of Blades in the Dark, all that kind of stuff. And if you
There's all
do,
kinds of stuff.
yeah, and if you do, leave a comment, give us a like, do give us a subscribe. It helps other people find Garblag. And if you want like some serious bespoke information, and I mentioned this bit, I realize I have not posted the thing to the Patreon I said I would. There is a Patreon with a bunch of free stuff and a bunch of not free stuff. But whatever you find on there, it's all brilliant. And I will, that ship we can't get to. I've got a PDF that tells you what's the ship's stats and all that kind of stuff. I will, after this show is stopped, I will post it to the Patreon so you can see the Kudapatilla. There's a nice picture and some stats and some information. So if you want to, put it in your Coriolis game and send your ragtag crew of mystics, courtesans, and janitors into space on our spaceship, you're very welcome to. But that's over on the Patreon, patreon.com/GarbagGames. Did I miss anything? Did I get it? Did I do it properly? Excellent. It's going to be a level 2 Garblag soon.
Awesome.
Like level up and remember all the things. But yeah, thanks very much for joining us, folks. We've been Garblag's Games playing Coriolis. I'm going to press this button. Good night.